It's Friday night hangout. It's Friday night hangout.
Are you feeling stuck in your business, professional, or personal life? Or are you struggling to find purpose and direction? Imagine having a clear sense of direction, achieving your goals, and living a fulfilling life. Joy Onyesoh Coaching Consult is here to help you. We will work with you to identify your strengths, overcome obstacles, and develop a personalized plan to achieve your dreams. With our coaching and consulting services, you will gain clarity, confidence, and the tools you need to succeed. Do not let fear, lack of clarity, or doubt hold you back any longer. Take the first step towards achieving your goals and living your best life. Contact Joy Onyesoh Coaching Consult today. Joy Onyesoh Coaching Consult, empowering you to reach your full potential. Call, SMS, or WhatsApp +234 704 229 1171. Or you can visit our website www.joyonyesohcoachingconsult.com.
To be here tonight. This is another exciting episode of Friday Night Hangout. In fact, it's our 223rd episode, season 20. Yay! Wow. We're so happy to be here. That's the
Just like yesterday.
I'm telling you.
Wow, this is amazing.
Yes, thank you so much. And with me in the studio today is a special guest. You know, it's not all the time we have guests in the studio. And when we have one in the studio, we're so mindful to celebrate. So I celebrate you, my dear sister.
Thank you so much.
It's
a pleasure.
And you know, she is one woman that I admire, and she's going to be talking on something that I know she has A1 in. So, you know what someone has A1? So today we're going to be talking about building a strong romantic relationship. But before we go in there, of course, I want to welcome us all once more. Use the comment section. Let us know where you're joining in from. Don't forget to put your hashtag TGIF. And I will turn over to my dear sister, Mama, to please self-introduce. Let's get to meet you before we delve into the topic for today.
Wow. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Prof. You know, I've always been with you, even when I was the president of Select Committee.
Yes.
So this is a pleasure. I always look forward to your Friday night hangouts. Yes, it's been wonderful. Thank you so much. So my name is Boma Anikwe. I'm a lawyer by profession, and I'm a chartered mediator and a conciliator. I consider myself an influencer because I have people come to me for so many reasons. And presently, I'm running a co-host with my friend Ify. We're running the Courage Cast, so where we share dreams and give women, in particular, courage to share their dreams and to live their best lives. So I feel blessed to be here.
We're so glad to have you. Thank you so much. She's a woman of many parts, you know, so a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but she has mastery in a whole lot. Thank you for making out time to be with us. We're going to go right ahead to talk on building a strong romantic relationship. I find this topic very interesting because there's a lot happening. Even just before we came live, I showed you some of the things I saw on social media, and it just seems like it's not possible to have a strong romantic relationship. But let's start from, what do we mean when we talk about romantic relationship?
Yeah, thank you, Prof. Honestly, I think a lot of misconceptions have grown into the weather that people no longer look forward to it. But a romantic relationship is actually the goal of every heterosexual relationship. For those who are still budding, those dating, and those in marriage, if the romance is not there, I think there's nothing to look forward to. What can keep you in a relationship for 20 years, 30 years is the romance. So if it's not there, then you're not looking forward to it. That's why this day and age you hear people say marriage is not an achievement because you don't have, there's nothing inside. And for law we say you can't build on nothing. So you must have it and you must look forward to it. But a lot of people, due to so many disappointments, betrayals, they even think it's a childish thing. Oh, it's for children in their teens, or maybe first 3 years in marriage when the kids have not yet come, or maybe they're just coming in trickles. But when life gets serious, you put away childish things. It's so unfortunate, but it's actually the best thing. Before I give you a definition of a romantic relation, do you know there's something interesting that's happening to us, even in our Christian circles?
Okay.
The Bible has 39 books in the Old Testament, 27 in the New Testament. Do you know there are 66 books? But there's one particular book we all gloss over. The Songs of Solomon. Like, if you come to church and the priest is talking about, you're like, what is going on
here?
I mean, I dressed up to come and hear the word of God. And this is what you're talking about. As if it's trivial. But this is one thing that makes me know that the word of God is complete. Do you know that when I want to delve into how to build it, if a husband and wife can choose maybe a chapter, there are just 7 chapters.
Yeah.
There's a space where the man can read his own part, the woman can read her own part, and it makes funness to grow. It's not a childish thing. It is an aspiration. It is the goal. That in your favor called premium or nothing. It is premium to have a romantic relationship. And you can see it's not about the butterflies in the stomach. It's reality.
Yeah.
It's something that is sustainable. Okay, so let's go to a relationship, romantic relationship. The definition, from my own perspective, there's this song by Teddy Pendergrass. He said, "It's so good loving somebody and somebody loves you back. It's not 70-30. It's not 60-40. It's 50-50. So when there's a meeting of the minds, from the definition I have of a romantic relationship, I call it fire. It's a spark.
Fire.
It has to be there. If it's not there, there's nothing to. It is the only thing that can keep a relationship rolling. So a romantic relationship is a consensual relationship between, of course, 2 consenting adults that has a lot of empathy, emotions, and financial intimacy. There's also physical intimacy, but
I like this bit.
Yeah, but the world is so dynamic that people can just have a fling. So sex is no longer the focal point. Back in the day, you could distinguish a romantic relationship from a non-romantic relationship because there was no sexual intimacy. But with what we're having now, you can't even use sex as a yardstick. But of course, it is an integral part of a romantic relationship. But that's not the only reason that you can say, like if you're in a marriage relationship or you're dating a guy and the only thing you have together is that you're having sex, trust me, you have nothing. There should be more to it. There should be a respect. There's emotional strength you're drawing from each other. There should be balance. You should have intentionality. There's forbearance, fondness, tolerance, kindness. You'll be patient with each other. That's when you see that. And something about romantic relationships that you don't need to live with someone for donkey years, or the couple, they are living well. When you see them, their mannerisms, even when they come down from the car, you're like, hey, this is a troubled zone, because the energy is stiff. He doesn't even look out for the wife to know if she actually banged the door, he's moving out. But when you see people who are in love, you see that the person makes room to include it. There's inclusivity. Okay? But when so many people the problem in marriage or relationships now is that people are alone in a relationship.
This is really good. I just want to draw from what you said so far. Because, and I hope you're listening, because this is very important. There are several things or a whole lot of things we go through, especially those in marriage or those who are dating, and you don't want to talk about it with anyone. And that's why we have conversation like this, very frank conversation for people who have been experienced, who have gone through that journey, and they can share their insights, their experiences, to encourage you and to also, point in the direction. Of course, we're not asking you to copy, but all we're asking you to do is to discover, as you move along. There are certain things, Mama, you pointed that I want to draw from, and I want us to expand a little bit. You talked about empathy, and you talked about people being in a relationship or being alone.
Yes.
I see this as a very, very, these are strong pillars of romantic relationship. I also talked about finance.
Yes, financial.
Can we look at these three things, because of time? Let's, unpack this a bit when we talk about empathy. I was listening to Apostle Selman. I think I saw a reel of him. Was it yesterday or today? And I was telling young ladies, please, if there's anything you want to get right, please marry a man that is kind.
Yes.
And a woman, if you want to marry a woman that is kind. You say kindness. Some of the things we see today is because we marry people who are not kind. So can we just unpack that empathy a bit and talk about empathy, kindness, financial? You talked about financial, you talked inclusion, and you talked about
fondness.
Yes, fondness and all of that.
Okay, let me go through the angle of communication. When you want to say that someone empathizes with you, it's a whole package because it depends on who the person is. As we are discussing this romantic relationship, I was just thinking about what is the person's temperament. There are 4 temperaments by Gary Couch. He said there's the melancholic, the choleric, the phlegmatic, and the sanguine. So do you know that in each situation, you might see your husband as a devil because he's not speaking your language because of your personality. There's a love language also part of in communication. If someone is sanguine, the outgoing type, and you are the phlegmatic one, calm and all that, and he goes about doing things, you might see him as mean to you. Meanwhile, he's doing his best to be kind to you, his own way. I call it the Tower of Babel situation. Like you're not communicating effectively. So in communication, we talk about effective communication. This couple, I admire them. They're my marriage coach, Kingsley Okonkwo and Mildred. I always listen to their stories. They're always engaging. There's one of the stories the guy was sharing, and I knew he had to do a lot with communication. They went to give birth in the US. They were already done. So he was about to leave, and the wife was expecting that at least that last day they will have the time together. Some people, their love language is physical, touch, giving attention, acts of service. Some people is giving different types, But for the man, he being a sanguine, he was looking at his wife being comfortable and all that. So he brought the car key, gave it to the wife, and the wife looked at him like, you left the whole day and you're coming with this key. What am I doing with it? And the man bought a very, I'm not into cars, but the way he described the engine and all that,
he was thinking about her comfort, how she wants to move around.
So, it's a little thing. If only he had maybe demystified that, maybe, what do you call it, the surprise, if you only understood the kind of wife he had, he would have understood that if only they had spent just that day together, sitting and just not saying anything much. So you can imagine, a woman might be saying, my husband is hurting. That's why when you bring in parents, it's always an issue.
Yeah.
Because they don't even know what you're talking about. Imagine your mother will tell you, your husband bought you a car. Are you okay?
And you're complaining.
You're complaining. Okay, maybe we checking now, or maybe using Uber. Maybe when you come a burden to friends, then you now know that you're in the US, not even in Nigeria. Do you understand? So it's communication that helps you debunk all these things. Like, okay, for my nature now, I don't like surprise party or anything. If you do it, I'll just be like, okay, thank you. Because of my nature, I like to contribute. I like where I am. I can make a difference. Like, okay, on Sunday, like one of my friends, they were doing their mother's 80th birthday Thanksgiving, and they needed someone to carry the camera. They didn't ask me, but I knew them. I just went there. So my nature, I like to make a difference. You don't even need to ask me. So you can imagine doing surprise party for me. So I didn't even get to contribute. So I'll feel robbed. I'll feel like, hey, you took that out of me. So I may not even react the way you want. Do you understand? But someone who is a sanguine is so like my dad is the best person can do surprise because he will flow with you.
This is great. I hope we're getting the message here. And that is communication is key. And when we talk about being empathetic, we're talking about seeking to understand before being understood.
Yeah.
So one of the strong pillars in any romantic relationship is communication. You have to understand who you're dealing with, understand your partner. And one way of understanding is not just only through observation, is having conversations.
Yes.
Very frank conversations.
Like when we're talking about communication now, effective communication, listening skills, effective listening, not be a passive listener. Then the feedback. So it's when you throw that surprise party or you give that surprise key that you now get the feedback and you know that, oh, I didn't get it right.
So next time.
Next time I will try to maybe do it 2 days earlier. Maybe I'll get the car and keep. We still stay together. In the process, I'm now throwing the key. She will think, oh, my husband is, the world champion and all that. So it's communication. In fact, to me, I'll just tell you, the way constitution is to Nigeria is the way communication is to our relationships. If you don't communicate, you don't converse. Some people are having issues. Some people are even divorced. They've never had an effective communication because you are a defensive listener. You don't listen. You're always justifying yourself. Like some people, when they're having conflicts, the man is always right, the woman is always wrong. So, like the Bible tells you, remove the log in your eye so that you can see the speck in another person. So if you don't understand that there's even something wrong with you, how can you even want to change? Like in part of the pillars of effective having a romantic relationship is when you're communicating. In fact, from communication, I also built in conflict resolution.
Yeah.
Because there's no way two different people, no matter how loving and understanding you people are, there are parts where conflicts must arise. So you must have the tools. My father always have arm yourself the instruments of peace. So there are tools of communication, tools like in a romantic relationship. Why are they? We usually say no PDAs outside. They will carry it inside.
PDAs mean public
display of affection. And you carry it inside. Your children can never see where you're kissing. They don't see where you hold hands. But when you're aggressive,
they see
everybody sees that. So please, this PDA thing, is it exclusive for you don't want to see anything loving and caring? So we have these tools. I love you. Say it as often. And when you want to apologize, make it a first person thing. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't quite get what you meant. Oh, I actually thought you meant this. That way the person know that you're inclusive, you're including the person, and the person doesn't have any reason to be afraid of you. Then it gives you a feeling of entitlement. That was what makes it endearing. You see a woman and the man are living inside a barrow house or whatever, but they're happy because she knows that she is my husband. Don't worry. She knows that she's got his back or he's got her back, and whatever she says, that he will always protect her interest. Like somebody said something. I caught it. There are no in-law problems, mother-in-law problem, or father-in-law problem. There are only spousal indulgences.
Yes.
If your spouse is protective of you, no matter what it is, In fact, that's your in-law, you know that, if I still want to be friendly with this my son, I dare not upset.
Because you
you
put
know,
the boundaries in place.
yeah, so
There should be boundaries in
if
place.
during communication when you're dating, you have a little mini constitution. See, when we want to resolve our conflicts, let's not involve our parents, let's not involve friends. We can actually do this ourselves. After all, what's the big deal? That way, two of you are forming a formidable force against the world, in fact. So
which is very important.
There's nothing to worry about. So communication helps you. When you have effective communication, then that empathy, you will see it. Because the person includes you. He knows, oh, my wife doesn't like surprises. So don't go fishing in troubled waters.
Amazing.
Okay?
Amazing.
Yeah, so
this is really very I love this direction, because sometimes you think that when there is conflict in a relationship, it means that it's bad,
No.
it's not romantic, but that's not it. But the key thing is, what do you do at the beginning of the day when you start off? What kind of person are you? How do you like to deal with conflict? How do we deal with conflict? And then it's always very important that there should be an authority over your marriage.
Yes.
Because there should be, yes. So this is where, but it shouldn't be too frequent.
No.
The idea is you're able to resolve it and build your conflict resolution skills within the marriage. So having that doesn't mean that your relationship is not romantic. It's actually one of the ways of building a strong romantic relationship. Now let's look at the financial aspects.
Yes.
You talked about the finance, but before we go in there, I just want to acknowledge everyone I see online here. Thank you so much for joining in. If you're just coming, joining us, this is Friday Night Hangout, and we're having a conversation with an very amicable, amazing, insightful guest, Boma Anekwe, and we're talking about building a strong relationship. Don't forget to put your hashtag TGIF. But you know what? Don't go anywhere. We're going to be back shortly, where we're going to talk about, financial inclusion in marriage and all of that. We're going to wrap up the conversation, but don't go anywhere. We have still some interesting things to talk about. So just stay tuned. Welcome to our She Speaks Masterclass on sustaining momentum, strategies for long-term impact. Are you a visionary and ambitious woman, ready to scale your business and grow your impact? I am Joy Onyesoh, and I invite you to unlock your full potential by attending this 2-hour virtual masterclass. In this class, you will discover the secrets to sustaining growth, empowerment, and success in your business. We'll cover the fundamentals of business development, building a sustainable structure, and accessing resources for growth. By joining this masterclass, you'll gain clarity on business development principles to drive growth and success, a sustainable structure to support long-term expansion and momentum, resources for growth to fuel your business expansion, and a strong personal brand to attract opportunities and impact. That's not all. You'll walk away with a clear plan to sustain momentum in your business, strategies to overcome obstacles and stay focused, and a supportive community of like-minded women holding you accountable, and of course, practical tools to drive long-term impact and success. So, register now for our Sustaining Momentum Masterclass happening on the 30th of August 2025, and take the first step towards achieving long-term success and impact. And you know what? Distance is not a barrier, because this is holding virtually. Do not miss out on this opportunity to sustain momentum in your business. Register now and let's get started on this journey to success. See you on August 30th, 2025. Follow us on social media for updates and behind the scene insights. See you in class. Okay, so welcome back. And I hope you saw that the She Speaks Summit Masterclass coming up on August 30th. Listen, if you're thinking about how to restructure your business, you're thinking about getting growth and business development tips, then you want to be in this 2-hour masterclass. Honestly, we had the first class last month, and we talked about effective sales strategy. It was a bomb. So you want to join this one. That one was really so good. You want to be in this one if you want to grow your business and learn strategies to be in business for long term. Okay. So now we come back, and if you're just joining in, just sit tight. This is very interesting. Now we are continuing the conversation, and just before we wrap up, I want you to talk a little bit about financial inclusion. Financial intimacy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Even corpses in the mortuary, they still pay tax now. So there's no way you can have a full-grown adult in your life and you claim you love the person and you feel like the person is living off handouts. It's not done. And there are people who have so much inside of them that can change even the financial base of the home. So imagine if a man comes up with this patriarchal mentality where, I'll stay at home. Some people think when you working is because of money alone. Some of them, I'm working outside town. Why are you going outside town? How much are they paying? I said it's not the money.
Yeah.
It's not just the money. Of course, we want money.
But there's a satisfaction.
And you're making a difference.
Yes.
You're creating a niche. And the women who have so much, we have billionaires, let's cage at them. There are women who men didn't really stop, at their initial stage, and they can go so far. So if you include a woman to have a financial base, it helps the home. Even if you have so much, the woman's portions, there's a way she goes about it and she makes things happen. So even thank God that life is now dynamic. They are online, so they don't really have to go out physically, but they can grow a business online. They can go out to do it in an office, a 9-to-5 job, or as an entrepreneur or something. But a woman should have a financial base. A woman can never have too many sources of income because she has so much to do and to give back. Once you're no more a baby, you should be responsible. Even as a Christian, you want to pay tithe.
Yeah.
Once you make a difference, you can see someone that is, the Bible said when I was sick, I gave you food. You see, okay, I see someone that is sick and I call my husband, please, can you send me 5K? I want to give you a beggar on the street. It doesn't make sense. But if a woman can have her own financial base, and even including it in the sense of a man, even allowing her to work, then even when the man he has to include the wife. There's some cases like we lawyers, we've seen a lot of them. When a man dies, he dies intestate, didn't even write any will. He leaves his inheritance. Some bank managers have made billions out of it
because the wife,
she has no knowledge of it.
Anything.
So you're making money. Your wife doesn't know about it. Thinks she's going to run.
You're invested in properties. Your wife would not know
anything. So to what end? It doesn't show that you're wise. So I think, please, inclusivity. A woman should be allowed to have financial base, even if you're doing a family business. Let there be a strict point where this is her pay point. It's not when you're angry, you terminate her salary. When you're happy, you pay her salary.
The one I want us to even really talk about, because that's the one that is really impacting a lot of homes. When we look at the bit of financial intimacy, is where the man, I'm looking at the point where the man is the breadwinner of the home, right? And then you exclude your wife. She doesn't know how much you earn. She doesn't know anything about your finances. You keep her in the dark, right? And then you expect her. So even when the woman is working, you already know what her financial base is. But you now dump a whole lot on her.
Wow.
And you expect her to do all of it. The woman is groaning and struggling and suffering. And then you just think, you pretend that you do not know that your wife is going through all of this. And then it could also be the other way around as well, that some women are more financially capable than their husbands. And because you don't want him to know the strength of your finance, you make him pay for school fees, even when he's struggling and he's saying, babe, It is, you're saying, oh, I don't know where will I get it from, or where will I? We had this that the man committed suicide.
Wow.
Because he didn't know that the wife had already paid for school fees. He was under so much pressure, and he lost it.
Oh
And at the
my
end
God.
of the day, the wife had paid for school fees, and then what happened? So it goes both ways. Financial
So
intimacy
it's
is a strong pillar in any romantic relationship.
Yes.
Now let's also talk about gifting, because both ways. These days, some men love to receive gifts, but they don't know how to give it back to their spouse. The woman will remember the birthday, she'll remember anniversary, and then you will give the excuse, oh, you're so busy.
And you
so
forgot.
you forgot. What kind of thing is that? And
Yes.
but you enjoy receiving
Financial
gifts,
intimacy,
and you don't
honestly.
like to give back. So,
financial.
yeah.
To me, there's no way you can say you love somebody you don't give.
It's
It doesn't
not
make sense.
possible.
Love is a doing word. It's an action word. So there's no way I can love you. I won't think of making a
Exactly.
difference. And okay, how can I say I love my husband? I've heard cases where a woman, she's the one that is the landlady, but the husband doesn't know. He's paying rent
To his
He
wife.
doesn't know.
A lot of funny things are happening these days.
It's an act of wickedness.
Yes, it is.
I don't think if I love someone, I can allow you to go through pain. I will actually allow you to be paying rent to me.
There's really a lot going on.
You know,
This can be a conversation we can have for a long time. And trust me, because in this month of August we're discussing relationship, but we're going to bring up this issue of romantic relation, because a lot is going wrong in marriages. A whole lot is going wrong in marriages between men, especially heterosexual marriages, where people are having expectations that are not met. Resentment comes in, and 80%, 85% of the finance at the bottom of it is at the core of the issue, where you pretend you don't know what is happening. When you love someone, you observe. You know where to bring money and support. You don't need the person to open the mouth all the time to tell you, I need this. You should be observant. That is what empathy is all about. You should be observant and know where to chip in. You don't have to wait
for the man is about to die.
You now say no. When you love, you observe and know how to support. Either as a man or a woman. You see your husband going through stuff, you don't need him to say, you support. You see your wife going through stuff, you support. You can't love somebody without giving. And finally, because we're over time, what are the final tips you would give to us?
Yes, in addition to our communication that is so exhaustive, we talk about creating routines. Sometimes you have some days you hang out, just you and your partner, you and your wife. You put routines, spend time together, quality time. So those routines will serve as checks and balances for you. If every third Sunday you people stay out, you don't come back till morning, and because people are not friendly, then you know that you have something to look forward to. Because why relationship can stay sour a month, 2 months, 3 months, they don't have anything together. Some people don't have, like your date times, you can organize, even if you can't do something that's very expensive. That pocket friendly things you can do. You just go to DSTV or any network you use, watch a movie together, and you make it a routine. Maybe every first Sunday in the month we
have a movie night,
or even morning bath.
Exactly.
Morning bath. Every first Monday
night bath.
Night bath. I mean, even if you're living apart, you can have prayer vigil tonight. We're going to have a prayer.
We pray together.
Pray together you may not have it every day. You may not be able to have it every day. But have days that you're on a bucket list. We've not done this. Then once in a year, you plan a vacation. It could be to the village. If you have money to go to the islands, the Caribbean, it's fine. But it could be the village.
Go to your village and stay in your
1 week. Eat okra and ube. Do normal things. If you can afford the expensive one, fine. Better still. But create routines. That way, you create fun memories. But the thing about life that we don't stay forever.
And nobody even knows what happens.
And there's no age. There's no factor. You don't know how these things happen. But if after life, and maybe after life, and maybe after many years, someone passes away, you see that the widows of such people, they're not bitter.
Because they lived the life.
Like one of our mentors, she shared something when her husband died. She was sharing about how they met.
I read it on your page.
Yes, and it didn't even look like the man was dead. And I'm like, oh, this is reminding me of my mom. Anytime I would tell her anything, or maybe she sees just my dad's bullshit, she just say, "Hey, Oko, Sisi," and I'm like,
you know why? They had a lot of fun
memories.
So if you don't build those kind of fun memories, you start living a life of regret, resentment, bitterness, because you
and the interesting part is that they don't even really have to be on the same page. Like my dad was Catholic, my mom was a member of Assemblies of God, so two extremes, but they still found a niche.
A common ground.
You know, my father was like, okay, this is what you want. After Sunday, was like, hey, this man of God preached so well. Let him come to our house. My father would invite him over. We'll have lunch. You know, some people were like, wow, what type of home is that? It was just like a free, and he made. And he was not very afraid of marriage because there was nothing. There was no day my father said, people cannot go to this church or anything. In fact, when we were much younger, we were always going for fellowships, and my father would tell me, this church thing is forever and ever. Calm down. But, you know, he never fought us. Eventually, all of us got married and got back to Catholic church. Can you imagine? Without him forcing us. So sometimes you may not even like that you are agreeing on everything, but have a dynamic way of resolving things.
Yes.
Agree to disagree. Okay, you believe in this. Okay, you love this. Oh, I'll be doing it. My wife loves this. My husband loves that.
Having a common ground. And that's what we're talking about.
You know, it involves a lot of emotional intelligence. Okay?
Yes.
Then shared values. Like you don't believe in this, you know. Like I always tell people, we reach towards God. Whatever you do, you know, just know that God is at the center of everything. So it keeps you focused on the right things. You know, emotionally, having a romantic relationship is a healthy way of living. Because when I was doing making some research, I said the tips on romantic relationship. What I got was tips on healthy relationship.
Because you can't be healthy if you have a toxic relationship, right?
Yes.
And so all we're saying tonight is we've gone 7 minutes over time.
Wow.
So we really need to wrap up. So what we're saying tonight, if you're watching this right now live or if you're watching the replay, is that it is very possible to build a strong romantic relationship, but both parties need to be involved and committed.
Yeah.
We talked about the need to be empathetic, the need to have financial intimacy, the need to build routines together, have shared values. We also talked about, communication, effective communication,
effective listening, and all that.
These are very key things. It's a whole lot.
And look forward to it. It's an expectation. People should look forward to it because that's the main thing.
Exactly. So there's a whole lot to it. So we just want to thank you all. I hope you've gotten a lot of nuggets from this conversation. And if you just jumped right in, not to worry, watch the replay. This month of August, on Friday Night Hangout, we're dedicated to, talking about different types of relationships. So don't miss next week Friday. We have another interesting conversation coming up on another type of relationship because we have different types of relationship. So thank you so much. I remain your host, Joy Onyesoh, and from myself and my team and my amazing guests. Welcome to Power Woman book. This book is designed to empower and inspire women to reach their full potential. As a woman who has navigated her own journey of self-discovery and growth, and also the author of the book, I'm excited to share my insights and experiences with you. In this 2-minute review, I'll explore the 8 chapters that will help you unlock your power and live your best life. Our journey begins with understanding forgiveness, balancing emotions, and overcoming obstacles. We'll discuss the importance of self-awareness, resilience, and determination in chapters 1 to 3. In chapters 4 to 6, we explore what it means to be a power woman, transforming your mindset and staying focused on your goals. You'll learn strategies for building confidence, overcoming fear, and achieving success. Now in chapters 7 to 8, you'll get to be inspired to persevere through challenges and take the leap towards your dreams. You will discover the power of resilience and determination in overcoming obstacles and achieving your goals. Now,
Remember that being a power woman is not just about achieving success. It's about living a life that is true to who you are. I hope this book will inspire you to tap into your power and live the life you desire. Take the next step towards unlocking your power and living your best life. Get ready to unleash your power and live the life you've always dreamed of. Grab a copy of the Power Woman book today.